Good evening, everyone.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Friday night. It's 9 p.m. and we are back here on the session on
How to ace your career.
So, guys, like you all know, we come here every Friday at 9 p.m. helping you with the problems of your career. Career in terms of probably career stagnation, or you want to take a transit, or you're really unhappy with your job, or you don't know how to deal with these toxic people around you, or probably how to really balance between work and life. So all these topics are related especially to mid-age segment people with 12 to 15 plus years of experience, because that's what we specialize in. We coach people at that age where they're managing a lot of things and they're really struggling in their career. And we've been doing this for a decade. We celebrated this decade just last weekend. So who am I? I'm Nutan. I'm a career and a life coach, and I've been coaching men, women, both in their mid-age for the last 10 years. And touch wood till today, all our clients have got the results that they have desired and they've come to us for.
I'm Dheeraj and I'm a life coach, career coach, and a business coach. And together we formed this company called as ND Life Coaching.
So guys, today, like you all know that we come here every time and we discuss something related to the career, how to find a dream job, how to sustain in the current company. But this time I thought it's really very important to discuss what do you do when you get a new job, a dream job that you've been working together for a long time and now you have landed into it. So all those people who have landed into the job that they have really been working towards, congratulations from us. You've achieved a milestone and it's now time to consider how to make the most of your first 90 days. It's a crucial probation period that can significantly impact your future within the organization of your dream and aspirations.
During these initial 3 months, you have a unique opportunity to establish a positive reputation, build trust with the key stakeholders, and convince the HR that you are indeed the perfect fit for your role. Failing to create a strong impact during this time can hinder your progress, making it more challenging to secure raises or promotion. So it is very, very crucial, each one of you who just landed in a job. Don't waste this 90 days thinking that I've just started. Let me take my own space. Let me take on my time. Friend, this 90 days are the most crucial because, as we always say, the first impression is the last. Same way, these 90 days, what you do is going to decide your entire maybe 9 months or 9 years in the organization. So please focus on that.
So that's where we exactly come in with a decade of experience of coaching mid-career professionals to secure their dream jobs. We have helped individuals to define their career aspirations, land in the roles that they desire. And now, today, we would want to guide you on how to excel in your new position. We've, of course, been conducting so many live sessions since past 1.5 years, right?
Absolutely.
On securing the job. But this time I thought it's very, very important to discuss the journey far beyond after landing at your job, because landing the job is just a new beginning.
So here are some of the key strategies that we're going to share with you for making the most in your first 90 days. So I would request all the people who are live and who are going to see us later, just ensure you have a pen and page and write down for all those who just landed in the new job, or even people who are planning to get a new job, who are working on the new job. Probably they will get a job, but this something will be useful then also. So please write down these key strategies that we have designed, which will help you, which we have applied with many of our clients, and that's how they have really succeed in their current role where they are.
So the very first thing important is to embrace curiosity. Now, why do I say that? I say that because curiosity is one emotion which is there. Can you tell me at what age? It's absolutely at the age when you're growing up as a child. And I want you to trigger that childhood curiosity. Channeling that curiosity for child means what? It means being highly observant. If you see small kids, when they start growing up, they have immense questions. They keep noticing every possible thing in the environment and they keep asking you, what is this? Why is this? Why is this important? Should it be done like this? And what you have not noticed when you walked into the room, they would have noticed, right? So it's very, very crucial to pick up childhood curiosity. Notice everything in your environment, from office dynamics to the people, how things work in your new environment.
Next thing what a child does, and I know at times as parents, we do get irritated. Are kitna sawal puchta hai? Bas kar. It's like ask questions. Just as the children ask endless questions to learn, don't hesitate to ask questions. When you don't understand something, it's not necessarily everything you can understand. There are things you may understand, but do not hesitate to ask questions thinking that, will I come out as a foolish guy or will I come out as an immature or an idiot? No. When you ask questions, it shows that you are seeking answers. And that's what gives people that, wow, this guy wants to be clear. So keep seeking answers until you have a clear understanding of what is that you're supposed to do.
Then, of course, one thing which is so natural in us, it is just gifted as human beings. We love to make assumptions.
Yes.
You hear from somewhere, you see something and you come up to an assumptions. But kids don't make assumptions. They seek clarity. So avoid making any assumption about how things work here, what is expected out of you. Instead, clarify and confirm. I remember one of my clients, she was wanting to establish herself as a consultant to various colleges. Now, the colleges that she wants to go and share that I come here with this expertise of this particular subject, and you would like to look into the work that I've done. Instead, she went through the website and she came there saying that these are the flaws in you. This is how you work. That's not the right approach. Without even actually going and finding out, is that really true? You can imagine what would have happened to her. A university or a college who's established a course and been there for ages, been doing educating children for such a long time, is going to listen from someone who just walked in that this is where you're wrong. I don't think that's the right way to do it. So stop making assumptions, keep your mind as a clean slate and just keep observing, learning and seeking clarity, not by making assumptions, but by asking many, many questions.
So one of our household staff, okay, so she always goops up and in Marathi she says, Mala Watla, I thought. And I always tell in every time that you only do one thing. So the chutney what? Okay, you just keep grinding chutney, don't do any other thing. So assumptions is not the right thing. Now the second thing, break old patterns. Okay, so all the patterns that you followed, now since you've come in a new company, a new organization, you need to break the old pattern, which means first, in break old pattern, you need to identify habits. Because we are nothing but a piece of habits that, subconsciously, we keep doing things. We don't even realize we are doing that. I've started observing so many of my habits, which are all great and I'm happy, but one of them which are not good, I've ensured that I've started working. So reflect on habits or behavior that you wanted to change, but struggled within in the past. Now is your time. Now is your chance. It's a new organization, new company. People don't know you. So try to put those new habits in place. Recognize all those areas, all those habits that you feel that you need to change, you need to improve on.
So I remember one of my client, while she was working, she started getting coached. Of course, she came here to get coached to find her dream job. She was struggling through work-life balance. And generally women do that because they also have responsibility of the family. So while we were struggling through that phase, we got her a new job. There were so many things that I could identify and tell her that these are certain things which you're not doing rightly. That needs to change if you want to grow in your career. And I'm sure each of you would know that this is something which I need to change. I need to change, but I go back in the same set of people, the same environment, same everything. And it really becomes difficult to be aware and change. Here is your time to make that happen. So what is the behavior that you wish you could have changed so that it can enable you to ace in your career? Now is the time to seize that opportunity because you've just started afresh. This is a new job. These are new people. They will form certain images of you. You know, when you're in your old job, you've been there for 5, 7, 10 years. So even if you don't do certain things or you missed up on something, there is a trust established. So people say it's okay, but you know, he'll manage to do it or she will do it. But this is a new place. It's a new environment and people are going to make judgments based on your behavior now. So this is the exact time when you start taking this opportunity to break your old patterns and establish new ones. But which new ones? Which are more positive, which are more empowering, and which are more required for you to grow in your career. For example,
like punctuality. This is one of the most important key. For instance, if you struggled with punctuality in the past, make a conscious effort to arrive on time at your new job, because that sets a very positive tone and helps you build a relatable reputation from day one. Like my mentor always told me in the first day of my job that you ensure that minimum 15 minutes you are there prior to your time that is given. So I have never ever been late. Rather, I've always been when I've worked 15 minutes prior. So whenever it was at 9:30, the minimum that I used to ensure that I'm there by 9:15 or 9:10 so that I could organize myself, I could set myself, and I could put things in place. For all those people who have not been able to do this, make it now is the time. Punctuality is one of the examples that you can show people that how serious you are about your job, about this role, about the company itself.
And I definitely believe that there would be so many of you listening there who would be struggling with this. I wish I can reach 5 minutes before. You know what? Even today I landed 1 minute later. And especially for people who have to swipe their cards. And today again, I had to go and request my manager to consider. It was just 1 minute. It was just 60 seconds. But you couldn't make it 1 minute before. And we all know in metro cities like Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai, the traffic is crazy. So it's a very good excuse that you can give that that's the reason I don't land on time. But you know what? Setting your day in the morning sets your complete day. And if that is where you miss the bus. So really, one of the most common pattern to be broken is something of reaching on time or before time. Then, of course, a very crucial aspect that you need to remember, you're new and the people working there are new to you. So it's very, very crucial to forge new relationships. That's how you'll be able to place yourself comfortably. There will be people around you who will help you to grow. There'll be people who support you in the environment. So what do you need to do? You need to identify key contacts. Determine who are these critical people who will be important in your new role. This, of course, include the stakeholders, your peers, your team members, your superiors, everyone and anyone whom your role is going to really play an impact on their work life or in their KPIs. So be very careful first to identify the right people where you should start building your relationship.
Then there's something which all salespeople do always have is an elevator pitch. It's important that you also craft a very conscious elevator pitch. The reason is so that you're able to introduce yourself effectively. There are important people who you want to be in touch with. They may not probably have that kind of time to give you. It could be few seconds or few minutes that you get a chance to introduce them, and that you fumble and you don't know what to say and you lost your chance. So always be prepared to have that. Like for example, there's a client of mine, and last Friday evening itself that they had a company's get together, and the MD of the company had come and had told my client, be prepared with your elevator pitch, because even if you get that 1 minute, you should be able to introduce yourself in such a way that he finds interest in speaking to you, connecting to you. And that's exactly mystically happened, that during that whole session, the MD came to him and asked him, so what do you do and what's that? And in 1 minute, what he spoke, the MD found it so interesting that he said, you know what, contact my EA. I would like to know more about what you're doing. Now, that's what we are talking about, elevator pitch, where you are introducing yourself so effectively. You're sharing your background, your skills, and what you bring to the team, to the company, to the organization.
So remember, it's just not for salespeople to introduce them to the client, but it is meant for you also to introduce you to the others. This is something which I learned very late in my career, that we always should be ready with the elevator pitch. In fact, it is told to us in business that even if you're traveling in a lift, you should be ready to go there and pitch yourself. Then, of course, you've identified the contact, you've prepared your elevator pitch. Now it's time for proactive engagement. You need to take the initiative to get to know your team. You need to reach out to your colleagues. You need to express your willingness to help and collaborate. So engage in sharing. This is who you are. This is the background that you have. Is there any way I can help you? The minute you go out and tell this to someone, people will definitely say, yes, this is what you can do. And that is where the connection starts building. So it's really very important to proactively go. Even in the world where the connections are online, it's important to set up meetings. I know one of my clients who's just joined an MNC. She's going through her first 90 days period. First 18 days, all she was doing was making new connections, setting up meetings, booking other people's calendar, booking those half-an-hour slots and just getting to know them. And you know what? 2.5 months later, everyone knows her. Her role itself is about coordinating across. Today, you know that in MNCs, you coordinate across locations. So there could be timings which don't match with your time. But because you're a known face, you know that person knows you. There's a connect established. People are responding to her very warmly and eagerly. She doesn't have to keep telling them that please do send a reply to my email. But if you've not done that, and it's an email coming from some stranger, you don't get that kind of response. So whether it's online or offline, both ways, connecting, building relationship is really very crucial.
Next, after proactive engagement, we talk about addressing people. Now, I think paying close attention to people's names and address them correctly is extremely important. I remember one of the company when I was working, my boss, he never could remember our names. Okay, never could. Are Deepak, my name was, sir, mera naam Dheeraj hai. And then, are Rakesh, sir, mera naam Rajesh hai. So now, this was always, we felt so disrespectful that he has got only 4 people working under him. And we had each one of us 20, 25 people working under us. We remembered all their names, but he can't remember our 4 people names. That remembering name is actually showing respect to the person in front of you. So if you respect someone, which means you will never forget the name of a person who is actually important for you, or you have a short memory problem, or you are a memory, which was not the case, which means we were never important for him. That's why he forgot our names. But he never forgot his boss's names. He always remembered their name because they were important to him. So when you don't remember name, you disrespect a person, and that probably becomes a reason of not able to build that trust itself. Arey jaan de yaar, isko interest hi nahi hamme. If we were so important, he would have remembered our name. And that's what happened unknowingly, but that's what happened. We never trusted this guy because the guy who does not remember my name, I believe he does not feel I'm important. If I'm not important for him, why the hell should I do things for him? That was the feeling. So it's very, very important that you remember name and address people with their correct name.
Then the next aspect is active listening. Now, we all know communication is a very important uh, aspect if you want to grow in your career. What is communication skill? What is an effective communication? Active listening is the first part of effective communication. It means not only hearing what others are saying, but also understanding and engaging with their message. What does it mean? It means when I'm saying something, it's not only about listening to the words, but looking at the body language. How am I interacting? What am I saying? How is my tone? Understanding that that's something more beyond the words that that person is speaking.
Next in active listening will come gathering information. This is the time. Actively listen allows you to gather valuable information about your role, project, and the organization culture. If you're a poor listener, you will not be able to gather any information, and then you'll not realize, oh, okay, oh, because you didn't listen. And the boss says, I shared everything with you. The juniors may say, sir, I said everything you, but you've not listened, and that's why you could not gather information. It is so crucial in today's world that we have complete information, the people we are working with, the people we are dealing with, that helps to know people, understand people, and deliver to those people.
Of course, it's also about the projects being discussed, the role being discussed. If you're sitting for a meeting, you may not understand half of the things because something was happening before you. But it's very important, and I tell this to all my clients. In your initial phase, when you're going and meeting people, always carry a notepad or a diary with you and ensure that you're taking notes. The minute you do that act, the person sitting in front of you knows you're serious. They know your intent, and that's where they start really sharing relevant information. So be very sure that active listening is not only in terms of the ears, but it's your body language. So when you're carrying and you're taking notes, people will also take you seriously. Then, of course, it's about strengthening relationship. When you want to build strong relationships in the new workplace, it is always easier to do it when you're engaged. And engage means you're listening and you're responding. So when you're nodding your head, like I said, taking notes, that's making that other person believe that you are really seriously interested in what he's going to share. So ensure that it's not only just listening through your ears, but your body language, your actions also are speaking aloud.
The next thing is continuous learning. Dive into the details. Invest time in understanding the organization structure, vision, and mission. Dig into the details of your specific project and responsibilities. Do not ignore this point, because then you will actually not able to deliver what you're supposed to deliver because you did not go into details. So detailing is extremely important.
And of course, adapting to the culture. You are not there to show what you liked. Many of the people do this, right? When they join a new organization, they're saying, you know what, in our previous organization, this used to be done very beautifully. Now, when you're going there and sharing it with the people who are existing and they're happy and proud of what's happening, you're going and telling them unknowingly that what you're doing is not right. I'm not very happy with it. So don't do that. First, get to know the work culture and then learn to adapt, integrate. That is how you will thrive in your new environment. So adapting to a culture, it's so relevant for women, right? You're coming from your mother's house, going into a new house. If you keep saying what used to happen in our house, you'll never be able to build a rapport in your in-laws place.
Next is seek clarity, which is extremely important, because I truly believe that especially people who drive will understand that if they are driving in a foggy area and then we are not able to see anything, our speed becomes extremely less. We can't drive more than the speed of 10 per kilometer per hour. But if there is no fog and there's clarity, if it's a great car, easily on a speed of 80 to 100 you can drive. So seeking clarity is very important, which means first, avoid assumptions. Never assume you know what is expected of you. मुझे सब पता है. This is nothing but sheer arrogance that you know everything. Instead, actively seek clarity on your role and responsibility. Because I truly believe all these years of work life that whenever I am clear of what is expected out of me, I feel myself very powerful, that I know what I have to deliver, and that gives me a lot of strength. So be clear.
And that's really wonderful, Dheeraj, because I can only deliver when I know. If I'm assuming, then probably I've done something correctly. And at the time of appraisal, the boss says you were also supposed to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You didn't pay attention there, and that's why you missed the appraisal cycle this time. So maintain, how can you do that? Maintain open communication. It has to be flowing. It has to be continuous. It should go throughout, where you're asking for feedback, you're asking for guidance, you're probably reiterating if you've understood. Have I understood this clearly? Does it mean this? These kind of things keep the channel flowing seamlessly without any kind of obstacles or challenges. So asking for feedback, seeking guidance to ensure that you're on the right track, and never ever miss this. Reaching out to your boss and asking what is expected out of me.
Just to add on, I'll tell you that recently a client has joined and I'm coaching him. 2 years, he's been achieving all his targets, but he's not been promoted. I said, oh, did you go and find out from your boss that what is missing? That why is it that they are not giving you promotion? And when he spoke to the boss and HR, they said, you know what? There are 3 parameters on which you need to fulfill 100%. And he was only achieving the 2 parameters. He was not even aware there is a 3rd parameter which already existed. That is why we are saying it's so important about clarity. And the last, exceed expectations. This is the key. I remember every time that's what I was given in my work project. Every time, exceed expectation, which means go above and beyond. Show your dedication and commitment by delivering more than what you are committed to. Because you're doing what you're supposed to do gives you salary. But if you want promotion, if you want incentive, if you want height, then you need to go beyond and deliver much more than what is expected and what you have committed. Demonstrate your amazing skills that you have and the capabilities through your daily work that you're doing.
And then, of course, talking about you. Many a times people shy from sharing their own accomplishment with the stakeholders and manager. But you know what? You're doing a disservice to yourself. Not necessarily everyone. Even the person who has hired you has gone through your CV, heard through the interview, may probably forget because there's so many things going on in his head. So it's very important for you to, at the right time, remember and share your accomplishments so that people know they're aware of your contributions and they're aware of your potential. So when there is a problem that has come up, and if that's your expertise, they will remember you and call you, and you can solve that problem. And that's how you create your visibility. That's how you build trust in the organization. So by the end of these crucial 90 days, your objective is to ensure that your presence is not just recognized, but also valued within the organization.
In conclusion, it's very important that your action should exemplify your capabilities, and trust should be firmly established with your colleagues and your superiors. This proactive approach will encourage others to seek your collaboration and set the stage for a successful career in your role.
So in conclusion, people who are hearing, first I would want to know from you, if you've taken up a new job or whenever you have taken up a new job, did you look at all these points? If not, it's time to really work on them. So it is very, very important that you take that effort to do active listening. It's very important to build new relationship. It's very important to seek clarity. It's important to learn new things. It's important to break old patterns. And the most beautiful part is about becoming like a small child, curious to know, observe, learn, listen. And that's how you can really establish trust, faith, people believing in you, and you can ace in your career. With the right mindset and action during your first 90 days, you can position yourself for long-term success and fulfillment in your new organization. So please share what are the right things that you did in the 90 days and where you could have improved if you were aware of this. All the best for your new job.
All those people who joined, all the best. Please do apply this because this has worked. So thank you very much once again on Come Here on Friday, and see you again on next Friday on How